Hi everyone, I wanted to give you some video instructions on your final assignments, which is the annotated bibliography. So as you'll remember, you need to find 6 relevant sources. We are creating a works cited or a references page. You can pick whether you want to do it in either the MLA or the APA style. You're going to be looking for one reference article. That's going to be the background information we found early on in our class. You're going to find one print book source, one ebook, one scholarly journal article, one popular magazine or newspaper article, and then either one web page or one website. And again, on that last one, be sure that you really evaluate it to make sure it's a reliable source. So let's take a look at some of the resources we have for this week that can help you with this assignment. First of all, take a look at the Citing Your Sources section here. And this will give you some links to the OWL at Purdue, which is the site I would recommend, and a lot of your English instructors will as well, for getting information on how to put together a research paper and how to create your works cited page. So one of the things that I have here are 2 videos, and one's for the APA and one's for the MLA, that talks about how to format your reference page. And that's all you have to do for this class. So definitely pick one of these videos and watch it. Then what I also wanted you to take a look at was the electronic resources, because quite a bit of your choices here are going to be on that page. So for example, I'm going to show you how to do this using APA. Again, you can use MLA. So if you go to this page, you can see here's how to do the web page. Here's if you happen to have a Wikipedia article for your web page. Here's how to do the scholarly journal article. But remember, when we're on the RCC databases, it's going to create the citation for us automatically. I want you to be aware of where this information is. So for this example, I've come up with my own research question. There's been quite a bit in the news lately about voting by mail, controversies around that. And so I was very interested in that topic, and I came up with a research question then based on that. How could our next election be affected if voters are not allowed to vote by mail during the COVID pandemic? So I came up with my major concepts here, which are really vote by mail and maybe pandemic. Elections already in there in that concept with the vote by mail. And then I came up with some related terms, as you can see here. So the first thing I'm going to do is work on getting my first source, which is my background information, from a reference source. So let's go ahead and do that. So the first thing we might want to do is go ahead and get a Word or a Google Doc open that we can use to cut and paste our citations into. So I have a Word document here, and I've already written reference at the top. I'm not going to worry too much about formatting yet. I can do that at the very end. But I have this document open, and now I can go and find my first source. And this is going to be the reference article. For my example, I'm going to use Gale Virtual Reference Library. Okay, and I could type in, for example, one of my main concepts is voting. So that's a little more general than vote by mail. Let's just see what we get when we type in voting. So we get voting articles here. So some of these might be great. Gale Encyclopedia of American Law. So this is specific. Here's another one. Here's one that has more of a social science approach to it. Voting behavior. Actually, here's absentee voting, and that's what we're talking about here, mail-in ballots. So I might want to use this one. So once I take a look at that, I can go ahead, and I am going to want to just read over this very briefly, because from that I'm going to develop a little summary of what it's about and how I think this will fit into my research. But once I've done that, so I would go ahead and make some notes here. And then I'm going to go here to Cite, and I'm going to make sure I pick APA. And then I could just hit Control C and copy that, go back to my Word document, and paste it right in there. Not worried about what it looks like right now with the formatting. We can go back to that later. So I've pasted my reference in here. Now what I'm going to need to do is, this is probably a good idea to do right now, is go ahead and say that this is reference. This is my reference source. And then I could write a quick summary here in a few sentences about what it's about. I'm just going to put short summary, and also why this is relevant to my topic. And you would just write this as a short paragraph. That's all you need to do right after it. Okay, so let's go on to the next source. All right, so our next source is a print book. So I'm going to get out of the databases A to Z, go back to the main page. So I'm going to look for books in the library catalog. So I'm just going to type in, again, and for books you want to be very broad, and I'm going to try voting rights and see what I get. And I want to go over here and make sure I pick, if I pick available in the library, that means that it is a print book. And we'll also see that when we pull each of these up. It doesn't say ebook, it says just book. So I'm going to go ahead and let's say I want to go with this first one. And this one is actually available online as well, but that's okay. I'm going to be looking at the print one. And here is our record for it. I should be able to get you. Here's the call number and everything. But generally the information I'm going to need on that book is down here. It does give me a little information about the book. Obviously, we're not going to have the print book in front of us. You could take a look at the ebook record if you want, but just come up with something that you think kind of sums up what this book is about by looking at the table of contents and how you feel that this would fit into your research. So this would be a good source because it looks at kind of the history of voting in this country. So I could say, well, it will give me a historical perspective on my topic. That would be an example. And we can go ahead and create the citation here. And you can see it's very simple. Copy. Let's go back to our Word document. And we're going to go ahead and type that in. And then I'm just going to write book. And then again, I'd add my short summary and why this is relevant to my topic. That's the only really thing that you have to do to make this an annotated bibliography. So now I'm going to look for my last source, and that's a web page or website, and preferably something with statistics. So I'm going to look for voting by mail and statistics. And you can see I have some sources that came up here. For statistics, it's good to use like a .edu source or a .gov. ca.gov would be the state of California. Here's mit.edu. Brookings is an institute, educational institute that's very good. I'm going to try that one. So here we have an article that should give us some statistics on low rates of fraud. So here we go. It's giving me different states and the number of cases of fraud from a particular study here, it looks like, and the time period that they were collected these frauds. So you can see the total cases of voter fraud, and then it looks like these were the ones from vote by mail, 8 of them. So between these years. And this is actually when they enacted it. So you can kind of see, and these were the actual numbers of votes, and this is how many of them were fraud that they found. So that would probably be pretty good for my research paper here. So of course there isn't a way we can just automatically cite the page here, but let's grab the information that we need for that. And we're going to want to get the title, and this does have authors, not all of them will. If they don't, generally you're going to want to read what it says in the Outlet Purdue for web pages, but it's probably going to have you use the organization if it doesn't give an author. Okay, so I've copied this information down here, and I'm going to put that on my Word page. Now I'm going to get all sorts of crazy formatting. To avoid that, I can come up here to edit and put paste and match formatting. And that won't be quite so bad. And then I'm going to go back to the article and get the URL. So there we go. Now we just need to format it. Now there's two ways that I can create my citation. I can go to my APA Formatting and Style Guide, and I can go to the one for electronic resources, and I can read here about how to take the information I have, and you can see I collected all this information and just put it in this format. What I could do is I could just kind of copy and paste this and then just kind of make sure I do it that way. So I could go ahead and just put this here and then just kind of work on getting it in the same format. So I'd put the authors first, and you do it in reverse order. You put their name, their last name first. So I'd put Camark, comma, E, and Stengline, comma, C, or no, C, no comma, just do it like it says here. The date of publication, which is here. The title of the page, which is here. And then retrieve from, and you would put the URL we have right here. Another way you could do it is to take that information and cut it and paste in here. What I can take is get the URL again. And type it in here and hit cite. It may make me do an ad. And let's make sure. So we just get a cite here. Continue. It'll ask me if there's any missing information. There's the article title. So it looks like it's pretty much everything we want. And you have to view a message. I'm going to put no. Here I can change the style. And then I can copy that. Then I can create, let's copy. And there we go. And we can get rid of this one. Alright, so now we have all of our sources. I went ahead and typed in popular magazine article here. So we need to take this and make it look a little better. So what we can do is if you hit Command A, you kind of select everything. And then we want to go up here to Format. What we want is paragraphs. That's where you're going to get the information you want. First, make sure that your margins are set to just the normal, the 1 inch all around. And then we're going to go in here. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and make sure that it's set to Times New Roman. So we've got that, and we want 12-point type. So I've set it to that. And now we're going to go in here and do the format. Left is just going to be 0. And then the only thing we need to really change is make this hanging. By default, it's 1/2 inch, and that's what we want. So let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and put a left alignment here too. We can go back and fix the title. So let's see. Oh, and we want the line spacing to be double. So we can do all of it right there. And here we go. We had a little extra space in some of these, so we can go ahead and fix those. So first of all, let's take our references and bring that back to the center. And then we're going to get rid of any extra space here. It looks like I've got like an extra couple of just spaces there I can get rid of. Okay. Now, you might want to go ahead and tab these over. Just hit the tab key and then they'll line up here. And then it's a little more obvious, you know, each individual thing. So here we'll do the same thing. We'll bring that one over. Here's our ebook. These only take up one line. We'll bring that over because that goes with the one above. And the same thing here. So we're just kind of cleaning this up a bit. Let's get rid of some of these extra spaces there. This last one, then we need to go ahead and put in the right format. Okay, so here we go. I'll bring the web page over again. And don't forget, you're going to go ahead and add your descriptions in here as well. So after you have the kind of source, you can just put period and then just write your short summary and why it's relevant. That's all that makes this any different from another works cited page or references sheet. So there, oops, looks like we have one extra space there as well. All right, so there we go. That is your assignment. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me through the inbox. That would be the best way. All right, good luck.